All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're going to talk about Gervonta Tank Davis, Rolly Romero, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and what Rolly Romero had to say that kind of makes sense but doesn't at the same time. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. We're talking about the lightweight division and a big fight coming up and not too long. I do believe it's in May between Gervonta Tank Davis and Rolly Romero. And Rolly Romero saying that he believes Floyd Mayweather Jr. wants him to beat Gervonta Tank Davis for an assortment of reasons, which we will cover in this video. Makes sense to me, but at the same time, the grand conclusion of it is nah, I ain't buying it. But before we get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're a longtime subscriber or a recent subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for continuing to support the channel. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when you release more videos. And also make sure to check us out at BUSR at busr.ag/Fanon. Go sign up there because we have a special promotion that we are going to run where I will be giving away $1,000 to the winner. So make sure you go sign up at busr.ag/Fanon and make sure that if you do wager on the pretty much the Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas fight coming up in 2 weeks, and I'll be announcing the winner not too long. So make sure you guys go sign up to that and take advantage of that promotion. All right, so let's get into this. Rolly Romero and Gervonta Tank Davis will be fighting one another coming soon in a lightweight quote unquote championship title fight for the WBA regular title. Rolly Romero was just recently gave an interview in which he said, look, certain people are really, really mad at Gervonta Tank Davis. And, my understanding is, and he said, he can speak, you guys can read between the lines that they want me to win that fight. And because they are really upset at some of the things that Gervonta Davis has been doing lately. Now, this is very, very obvious what he's talking about. And he's talking about Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mayweather Promotions, hoping that Rolly Romero beats Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, this is my take on the matter. There's logic behind what he's saying. First and foremost, Gervonta Tank Davis says that he is under his last fight under the promotional contract that he has with Mayweather Promotions, right? So if Floyd Mayweather Jr. was interested, like many promoters are, in keeping the belt that Gervonta Davis holds, he would say, yes, I want Rolly Romero to win so that Rolly Romero can hold on to that belt, right? Also, there is an issue with Gervonta Tank Davis having some legal issues around a car accident and also an altercation with a girlfriend that he has going on, which may very well render Gervonta Davis unavailable for fights in the nearby future. I guess that's the better way to say it, right? So Gervonta Davis lashing out in public, which he did last week about the relationship that he has with Gervonta Tank Davis. Also the fact that his contract is almost up, and all of the stuff going on with Gervonta Davis in his personal life could make Rolly Romero or somebody in Rolly Romero's position think, yeah, they probably want me to win. And also, I wouldn't doubt that when Floyd is talking to Rolly or Leonard Ellerbe is talking to Rolly, that they might not mind, that they are going to give him the talk, that they're all, rah on his side or whatever. However, don't buy it, because if it don't make, the saying, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense, right? And in this particular instance, what Rolly Romero is saying doesn't make sense for a couple reasons, not just the dollars, but the inevitability of a loss coming by Rolly Romero. So in Gervonta Davis, you have a couple things. One, you have a guy that is surefire, a draw, and a big attraction already. And I don't know of too many instances instances in boxing where somebody is trying, where a promoter that doesn't have another really big draw under their stable is trying to go out of their way to get their big draw beaten. That would be what you call ludicrous and idiotic for a promoter to do that. Promoters pretty much, if they have a big cash cow and they're going to do the best that they can to make sure that he continues to be a big cash cow by putting him in fights where they think is a very, very winnable fight for him. Now, if in that vein, looking at Rolly Romero, I don't think that there's a whole lot more fights that are going to be more winnable for Gervonta Davis than Rolly Romero, because Rolly Romero has what I consider to be a puncher's chance of winning that fight. And that is about all. He doesn't have much more than a puncher's chance. And even if he did somehow beat Gervonta Tank Davis, I would not be betting my promotional company on Rolly Romero continually winning fights with the style that he fights in. My opinion, Rolly Romero, even though I got to tell you, he's been growing on me a lot more recently. I kind of sympathized with him the way that he lost his opportunity to fight Gervonta Davis late last year by being accused of some things that eventually went away. Despite the fact that I've softened on him a little bit as a person, because I can kind of feel where he comes from. He's building up his own name. He's doing a lot of his own self-promotion, right, and all of that. I'm not silly enough to think that he is somebody that is going to be able to consistently beat the top guys at 135 pounds. And if he winds up going to 140 pounds, that he's going to be able to beat the top guys at 140 pounds. Gervonta Tank Davis, in my opinion, like from 1 out of 10 as a fighter, is a 10 as a fighter. And Rolly Romero is floating somewhere between 4 and 5 for me. I cannot see Floyd Mayweather Jr. wanting Gervonta Davis to go away out of spite. You can say a lot of things about Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Leonard Ellerbe, and honestly, I don't really think you can say that much about them as promoters. They're honest, always telling you the honest truth about what they're planning on doing, from saying that they intend to have, in Floyd Mayweather's case, intend on having in-house fights to Leonard Ellerbe, where Leonard Ellerbe says, yeah, a lot of these fights that you say that people really think are big fights in 135 are not big fights because they're not big fighters, big name fighters. Those aren't necessarily things that people want to see, but they will tell that, and they will say what the truth is. I respect both of those guys for that. But I definitely don't see these guys as being people that are going to be throwing away their investment, their thing that they've invested their money in, and something that is paying off for them, like Gervonta Davis actively trying to look and hope that he loses to Rolly Romero. Now, maybe they could hope that Rolly Romero, turns into some, really big star, because he does have the ability to sell fights. He does have the mouthpiece and the willingness to, to spark controversy. But even if Floyd Mayweather Jr. wanted that, it's going to be really, really tough on that happening, man, because Gervonta Davis is just another level fighter from him. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.